This evening, Education Ministry launches Children's Mashramani competition nationwide, celebrating Ghana's unity through the arts. Police investigating a double fatal hit and run along the Essequibo Coast. Berbice businessman arrested for attacking ex-wife with a cutlass. In the region, PERU UNREST, families grieve deaths in anti-government rallies, and internationally, Pakistan suicide bombing, cleanup and rescue operations continue. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update. I am Berbice. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight's newscast with an update on an inhumane attack on a Berbice businesswoman who is currently in hospital. A 55-year-old businessman from Kanchi, Berbice has been arrested for allegedly attacking his ex-wife with a cutlass. The incident occurred on Sunday when the 36-year-old victim was at a wash bay. According to police investigations, the victim's ex-husband approached her vehicle with a cutlass and started chopping the front windshield while she was inside. The victim was able to exit the car but received several chop wounds in the attack. A police constable who was present at the wash bay intervened and took the victim to the Port Moran Public Hospital for medical attention. She was later transferred to the New Amsterdam Public Hospital for further treatment. The suspect, a businessman, was arrested and is cooperating with the police in their ongoing investigation. This attack comes 3 months after the end of the couple's relationship. Also making headlines today, residents on the Essequibo Coast were woken this morning to a shocking double fatal hit-and-run tragedy. 2 fishermen lost their lives in a hit-and-run accident on the Devonshire Castle Public Road in the early hours of this morning. 50-year-old Mohan Maniram and 22-year-old Zaman Rafiq were struck down by a speeding car while they were on their way to the riverside. Maniram's head was severed and both bodies were recovered hours later from a nearby trench. A driver, 21-year-old Durendra Sitram, was arrested later by the police and found to be under the influence of alcohol. The families of the victims are grieving the loss of their loved ones, with Rafiq being the sole breadwinner for his family. The bodies are currently at the Saudi mortuary awaiting post-mortem examinations. In other news, as Mashramani celebrations begins across Guyana, the Ministry of Education, through its Allied Arts Unit, has partnered with the Department of Education in Region 2 to launch the Children's Mashramani competition. The competition took place at the Anna Regina Secondary School auditorium and was attended by 24 nursery schools from across the region. The theme for this year's competition was Mixing and Mashing as One Guyana and saw the children competing in 5 categories: dramatic, poetry, masquerade groups, dance groups, costume groups, and individual costume. The competition was filled with excitement as the young participants showed out their talents and creativity. After a day of fierce competition, Queenstown Nursery emerged as the winner in the dramatic poetry category, followed by Danielstown Nursery and Good Hope Nursery. The Children's Mashramani competition is a fantastic opportunity for young children to showcase their skills and celebrate Ghana's rich culture and diversity. It promotes cultural arts and education among young children in Guyana. Stick around when we return. Minister of Home Affairs clears confusion on death, birth, and marriage certificates, and police urge cooperation in drug crime investigation amid seizure of 14 kg of cannabis on the east bank of Essequibo.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Moran, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Give your home or office some shine. Fortune Investment Company. We provide reliable commercial and residential professional cleaning services in Guyana. We clean homes and commercial offices. Other services offered are floor care and tile polishing, interior auto detailing services, power washing, weeding and cleaning, and carpet, couch, and mattress cleaning. We are committed to keeping your homes and offices squeaky clean. Call us now at 592-689-7558 or 592-639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jackson North Rumville, Georgetown, Guyana. Fortune Investment Company. When we say clean, we mean spotless.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Welcome back. Minister of Home Affairs Robertson Ben has cleared up any confusion regarding the status of death, births, and marriage certificates for the year 2018, 2021, and 2022. During a recent National Assembly session, the minister stated that there are no pending applications for certificates at the Guyana Registrar's Office as of December 24, 2022. Ben also provided insight into the wait time for certificates, which varies based on the method of application. Those applying through the Guyana Post Office Corporation can expect certificates within 7 to 8 weeks, while those visiting the GRO office can receive certificates within 24 hours to 7 working days. Online applicants can receive their certificates within 48 hours to 14 days, depending on their location and if the certificate is to be mailed or picked up. The minister also addressed pending passport applications for the year 2020, 2021, and 2022. In 2020, there were 8 pending applications, 16 in 2021, and 44 in 2022. The waiting time for passports varies based on the location and method of application, with Georgetown Region 4 having a waiting time of 5 working days from 2018 to 2022 and 40 working days from May to October 2022. Minister Ben emphasized the efforts of the Guyana Registrar's Office to modernize its services and increase efficiency, which includes the different procedures used to facilitate the request for certificates and passports. He also highlighted that amendments might be needed in cases where there are discrepancies in records. In other news, on Monday, police acting on a tip discovered a large quantity of suspected cannabis at an abandoned and unfinished concrete building in Tushin, East Bank, Essequibo. The police found a bulky black plastic bag containing 3 parcels of suspected cannabis leaves, seeds, and stems. The suspected marijuana was taken to the Lenora police station and weighed over 1,400 grams. The police are urging members of the public to continue to provide information and support in their efforts to keep the community safe. The investigation into the source of the suspected cannabis is ongoing, and anyone with information is encouraged to come forward and assist the police in their efforts to address drug-related crimes. On a different note, Guyana will receive 30,000 solar panel systems this year. According to Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, The systems will be distributed to households across 200 hinterland communities, with 10,000 expected to arrive in the first quarter, another 10,000 in the second quarter, and the remaining 10,000 by the end of the year. The goal of the project is to bridge the energy divide and bridge the internet and electricity gaps. The Prime Minister assured the public that his office would be working with other ministries to distribute the systems based on needs. The project follows a $7.2 million line of credit agreement between Guyana and India. The Prime Minister emphasized the government's commitment to transparency and stated that the project would benefit all Guyanese. Don't go away after the break. Why does the world's top suppliers of nurses face a shortage at home? And Pakistan's suicide bombing, cleanup and rescue operations continues.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Give your home or office some shine. Fortune Investment Company. We provide reliable commercial and residential professional cleaning services in Guyana. We clean homes and commercial offices. Other services offered are floor care and tile polishing, interior auto detailing services, power washing, weeding and cleaning, and carpet, couch, and mattress cleaning. We are committed to keeping your homes and offices squeaky clean. Call us now at 592-689-7558 or 592-639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jackson North Rumville, Georgetown, Guyana. Fortune Investment Company. When we say clean, we mean spotless.
Hey, this is your fancy vehicle and is your house?
Yes, this is my vehicle and actually I'm waiting on my land. I'm actually renting this house for $50,000.
$50,000? You head more? You crazy? You mad? You head no good? Why you look, let me show you that light. Come with me.
Come on down to Fabulous Homes today. Pay $50,000 every month for 36 months or until you reach 50% of your house costs. Move in after 75% of the cost has been paid.
This is wonderful. Let's go. Sign me up.
All right, let me go and dash away your landlord.
To explore our home ownership program, check our Facebook page for more information or come down to our office at Avalon Friendship.
Hey, Chinese, thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
You got through?
Yes.
Call us at 227-1380 or 615-8740. Fabulous Homes International Realty, changing tenants into homeowners.
At Fabulous Homes, we bring your dreams to life.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Juliaca has become an epicenter of anti-government protests in the Puno region of southern Peru since former President Pedro Castillo was impeached and imprisoned 7 weeks ago when he tried to shut down Congress. Al Jazeera's Latin American editor Lucia Newman reports.
The bed where 17-year-old psychology student Yamilet Aroquipa used to sleep no longer has blankets or sheets. The indigenous custom is to remove them forever, 8 days after a person dies.
That's her when she was small. There she is, playing in her school band.
The family of 4 has been in mourning since January 9th, when police fired live rounds at protesters in the city of Juliaca.
We had gone to the market to buy food. We were not in the protest. We were 2 blocks away and suddenly she was shot.
They've killed my daughter and other innocents. We want justice. Justice is what we ask for.
The government suggests stones and sticks thrown by protesters were responsible for the 18 people killed that day in Juliaca. But the autopsy report states that Yamilet was killed by a 9mm bullet, confirming what the family already believed. Juliaca has turned into one of the epicenters of anti-government protests in the Puno region of southern Peru, since former President Pedro Castillo was impeached and imprisoned 7 weeks ago when he tried to shut down Congress.
These people that you see here have been walking all night to reach the city of Juliaca. They're from all over the Puno region. And as you can see, they are still very, very much determined to keep on protesting, to keep on blocking roads, and to keep on demanding that the president step down.
The march ends in the central square, where we find what looks like a typical carnival. But in fact, it's a fundraising event.
Today we are using our music to collect funds for our brothers who have suffered the repression of the state, where many are still suffering from severe injuries.
Others tell us they're collecting money to send more groups to the capital, Lima, to join the indigenous protesters who are already there, demanding immediate elections and the ouster of the president. Army helicopters fly overhead, but so far nearby troops have not moved in to unblock highways. After refusing 3 times, Congress has now agreed to reconsider President Dina Boluarte's demand to bring forward general elections for October. An offer that, at least here, seems to have fallen on deaf ears. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Juliaca.
Internationally, the Philippines, one of the world's largest providers of nurses, is in need of at least 106,000 nurses. This is according to the Health Department. Al Jazeera's Barnaby Liu reports.
In this private hospital south of Manila, nurses are young. Most of those staffing this desk had only recently graduated, and chances are they are not going to spend the rest of their careers here. I asked if they plan to work abroad. The answer is a resounding yes. The main reason, the relatively dismal pay, as low as $200 a month in some small private hospitals, a third of what the government pays nurses in public hospitals.
We do not receive subsidy from government. So if we try to compete with government facilities, what happens is we will increase the hospitalization cost.
The dissatisfaction worsened during the pandemic, when nurses and other healthcare workers didn't receive their special risk allowances from the government on time.
Filipino nurses have been leaving to work overseas for years, but the number increased dramatically during the pandemic. A recent study in the Journal of Global Health estimates private hospitals like this have lost the most, with about 40% of their nursing workforce quitting since 2020.
Although nurses in England and Wales are striking over wages, the United Kingdom remains an attractive destination. Carlo Diamampo is one of 40,000 Filipino nurses working in the UK.
Even during, I guess, at the end of last year, we got 11% inflation. It's quite high, I would say, compared to the Philippines. But the pay itself been able to suffice all we needed.
Carlos says he currently earns in a month what he used to make in a year in the Philippines. To encourage nurses to stay, the government is suggesting private hospitals be required to at least match the $600 minimum monthly salary for nurses in state hospitals.
We are proposing to standardize the salaries between private and public healthcare workers. We are trying to study on how we can further improve the benefits of our healthcare workers.
The disparity in pay was reason enough for Carlo and his wife to endure years of separation. She finally joined him in the UK last year. But Carlo says it will always be a sacrifice to be living away from home. Barn below Al Jazeera, Lipa City, the Philippines.
And finally, the death toll from an attack at a mosque in northwestern Pakistan has risen to at least 101. Recovery operations are still underway at the site of the suicide bombing. Al Jazeera's Asad Baish reports.
This is all that remains of the mosque in the police compound in Peshawar. Investigators say a suicide bomber blew himself up during afternoon prayers. Hundreds of worshippers were inside. The mosque is in a highly fortified red zone, which includes a police headquarters and a counter-terrorism unit, raising concerns about a major security breach.
It is a matter of great condemnation that terrorists can enter a government department. If the government department don't have security, what safety can they provide us?
A faction of Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, the Pakistani Taliban, claimed responsibility, saying it's the fourth suicide attack in retaliation for the killing of Khalid Khorasani, one of its senior leaders in Afghanistan last year. But the group's leadership has since distanced itself from the bombing, saying holy places should not be targeted. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has condemned the attack and promised stern action. He says terrorism is a country's biggest security challenge. The Pakistani Taliban has threatened and targeted security forces in recent weeks.
This is not the first time this kind of bombing has happened. Since 2006, thousands of people have lost their lives and we have had enough of terrorism.
In November, the group ended the ceasefire with the Pakistani government and earlier this month released this video of fighters training, promising more attacks and declaring its intention to impose a hardline interpretation of Islamic law. The group has been waging a war against the Pakistani government for more than a decade. Last year, it carried out at least 150 attacks, killing dozens of people. Analysts say the group has been emboldened since the Taliban's return to power in Afghanistan in August of 2021. It's evident the Tehreek-e-Taliban is targeting security forces once again, even in places of worship. Asad Baig, Al Jazeera.
This brings us to the end of today's regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. This concludes today's Headline News Update. Tune in tomorrow, Wednesday at 7 p.m. with our next broadcast. For more news and updates, you can visit our Facebook and YouTube pages. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.